when you try installing Autodesk, any software, you have to download 3 things here when there is this install button on the official website. I was not downloading these other 2 things, and I was trying to run it, and I was saying that there are files missing. So even though there is a 1 suffix at the end, you have to download 3 of such files in order to download it. Good evening, welcome back to In the Khud. This is 6 June 2023, 7:03 p.m. And today, I don't know, last 2 days, what is Windows doing? Last 2 days I've been feeling like super tired. I don't know I don't know why this tired. And of course, one thing I was thinking before hitting record is, this idea is so true that everything in the in existence, all of this movement is happening in the unmoving. All of this sound is coming from the silence. All of this space is existing in nothing. And these paradoxical statements, they don't make sense to the mind. They're not supposed to make sense to the mind, because the mind cannot fathom the subjective realities. Words can be so deceptive, like subjective realities. There is only one reality, one truth, which the mind cannot fathom. But inside, there is something which rings true, where every single day I see the entire day just unfold itself in front of me. There's a lot of chaos. Things are moving very fast. In fact, on WhatsApp for me, if I go to office, everything will be moving like quite literally in front of me. But still, I am exactly there where I was yesterday, where I was day before yesterday, just exactly there. Now I will wrap this video up, upload it to YouTube, rush to the gym, complete my workout, come back home. The same thing over and over again. And I'm not trying to complain about the repetitive nature of the cycle, or everything just going in round and round circles. I'm just trying to think about how I am still the same. Like I haven't moved an inch, even though it seems like this treadmill of life is just continuously repeating, but I have not moved at all. On that note, let's start today's episode. So I was forced to learn, or at least start learning, 3S Max. Is it gonna just give this pop-up every single time? So what happened is, for the 3D building project that we have, we received a file from the client, like you can check this open file situation, and that file was a .max file. And apparently you cannot open .max file in any other software other than 3ds Max. There are online converters which allow you to there was something called maximize viewport. I am very, very extremely new to this, so pardon me, like half of the times I'm not gonna be understanding what is happening here. Maybe it's this button here. Okay, so they said this is the open files for it, and I was like, there are online converters where you convert the max file to a OBJ or FBX, but they have 100 MB limit, and this file that they shared was so this is what they shared. And of course, my mind, it doesn't just, like, from what I have seen, like just randomly moving around. One big thing that I want to document is navigation, middle mouse button to pan, scroll to zoom in, zoom out, and holding down Alt and then pressing middle mouse button gives you orbit. Okay, these are like your standard. I think C4D has a similar kind of thing. But anyway, one thing that I could not figure out is maybe these are like the original buildings and everything that the client made. And over here I even see it's, of course, after using Blender you get so familiar with one particular interface, it's very difficult to go into another interface and like figure things out. But yeah, so my mind was like, of course I need a course. How will I just do anything in this software by myself? And firstly I was like, how do I get the software? So I tried getting the pirated version of the software, and it did not work out. So I made the official like for Parmeet. If you see here, this is the student version. Man, why do you gotta do this? Come on, Windows. So the student version, because my brother, he is still a student technically, so I just put his ID and got the student education license. So I can not just use this, but even Maya and all the other Autodesk softwares for a year for free, which is amazing. And when the year ends, I'll probably figure some other account. But anyway, this is what the software looks like, and the very little I have gone through it, it is very, very advanced. Like, there are so many tools and stuff here to do things. I just don't quite know how to go into like the material preview or the rendered preview, or maybe it is because the file that they've provided doesn't have materials in it. The other big problem is when you render this, it doesn't render inside the software, it renders through something called as Arnold. And it is things like these which make it so unnecessarily complicated, in my opinion, which is why I never got going with C4D or any other software, because Blender is just so simple. Everything happens within the same software. Like over here, if I just want to see how things are rendering, first of all, there was that render button I just pressed. Render. What is this doing? I don't quite know. If I close this, is it somehow putting that window somewhere? I don't know. So don't close it, clear it. There was this black screen coming just right now. I don't know. I'm very unfamiliar with the software. But yeah, you can put the camera. This is what I saw. You can right click and select move. You can move the camera. If you press C, you go into the camera. But I don't quite know. I also tried doing a thing where I would export an FBX out of this. FBX for these selected if buildings, and then I took that into Blender, but even that was coming without any material or any texture on it. And even if this was an FBX or whatever that they gave to me, I wouldn't want to use it because I've built the entire thing through geometry nodes in Blender, so I would use that only. I might just use this as a reference for like the things at the bottom. Like right now my bottom of my building looks very weird, to be honest. There should be a way to, there is clay. I can view everything in clay, but I don't know how to view things in the material, or maybe there are no material assigned, and I don't even know how to check if materials are assigned to it or not. Point of the matter being, this is a beautiful software to learn in and of itself, to add to my toolkit for architecture and everything. It's amazing. And I did see a bunch of like Udemy tutorials Udemy courses I can go about doing. Probably see. I also want to get my hands into Maya, because now that I have access to Maya for a year, why not? Because they say that definitively Maya is the best for character animation, even though it doesn't have the NLA editor, which is oh my god. But yeah, that is one thing. The second thing is I did get there was like an entire call with the team where the new member, she's joined my team in the full-time job, took her through the entire team, like every other person in the team, and telling about the brands that they work for. It's like a standard procedure to do with everyone that joins. There was 1.5 hour, and then I got a little bit of time to work on the 3D character animation she was working on yesterday. The thing is there, because I showed yesterday only the amount of lag that I was seeing in that project file. Okay, one thing that I want to document is the fact that when you try installing Autodesk, any software, you have to download 3 things here when there is this install button on the official website. I was not downloading these other 2 things, and I was trying to run it, and I was saying that there are files missing. So even though there is a 1 suffix at the end, you have to download 3 of such files in order to download it, actually install it in your system. Other than that, yeah, I was trying to show the character animation video. So I again made a fresh scene here. So this scene underscore working is at 379 MB because it has all of the like humans and characters in it. Then I made a new one, scene working underscore 2, which is at 1.65 MB. So from where we're going? 379 to 1.65 MB. If I open the working one, now in this again, that same mistake I was doing, that I got in the render collection, lights and everything, but I could not see anything in the rendered view. That is because it was set to EV. Like if you set to EV, you don't see only the lights working, which is very weird. So make it cycles and make it GPU compute, and your lights will work the way they should. So right now we've effectively added nothing into the scene by just there's one light here which is like 1,000 watt. Okay, so this light is probably coming from our lights collection only. Just put it here. You can't, the library overrides. Anyway, so yeah, I have to now recreate again this boolean situation. I have to check how I done it in my maybe you just anyway. So I now have to bring characters in here and do the entire same thing but with library overrides, making sure that the file isn't too big like this one. It's getting very difficult to navigate and do things there. So that's up for the task tomorrow. Tomorrow I will have to do a few edits. That's already on the table. So that is that. And anyway, that's how life's been. And I'm honestly, I have gotten over this entire idea of complaining and be like, oh, this is not happening. That I don't care. Whatever is happening good. Even if I have to sit and edit the whole day, it's all right. Life is all right. Everything is all right. I did notice that subscribers on In the Khud are just peaking very randomly. Maybe it's because of the 3D product render video that people are really liking and subscribing to the channel, which is amazing. But again, the main purpose of In the Khud is not to think about the metrics, so I don't want to bother my mind too much with that. Just keep doing the work that I'm doing there. And yes, on that note, thanks so much for being in the Khud. I will catch you tomorrow. Peace.